At 75 years old, he's learned to turn the internet into a communication medium for his advocacy.
Using his humor to talk about actually really meaningful topics.
His Facebook is hilarious.
I wish I could be more like him when I grow up.
In my endless quest to learn all things tech, I've come to America's new tech mecca. I'm George Takei, and this is Takei's Take, Austin, Texas. Today, I'm doing my own panel at South by Southwest. Joining me is Matthew Siegel, who heads Our Time, a nonprofit organization that promotes the voice of young Americans through online organizing and new media. We're here to answer the question, can technology encourage cross-generational communication?
Good afternoon. Please give a warm oh my to George Takei. Senior citizens are often intimidated by technology. What would be your advice to our parents, our grandparents, in terms of how to get their foot in the door with using social media?
That's a stereotype of people of our generation. There are many people of my generation that's actively involved in social media. Their children now have families and they've moved elsewhere, far away from home, and they want to keep up with their grandchildren. So those are the ones that are now on Skype. However, you're right, there are a good number afraid to boldly go where they haven't gone before. For example, my sister, she doesn't even own a computer. I've been trying to talk her into it, and I finally got her to buy an iPhone. But when she leaves the house, she leaves the iPhone at home. It's
What's
so
the
frustrating.
Point?
Yes.
Talk about the political motive or implications of Star Trek.
1966 was the coldest point in the Cold War. And yet when you turned on your TV set and watched Star Trek, you saw a Russian, Pavel Chekhov, sitting right next to me. Difference in ideas, difference in cultures, difference in faiths, all coming together and recognizing the common ground and working together. And that's what social media today is allowing us to do. Amongst my followers, there are people in Brussels and people in Perth, Australia, people in Okinawa, all over the world. I can connect with them immediately. That's the amazing power that we have now that I've gained in 3 or 4 years.
You're 76 years old. You're going to live probably another 76 years at the rate. What one issue do you want your followers to embrace long after you're gone?
Our democracy is a great system. It's a work in progress. When this nation was founded, our founding fathers who articulated the ideals, freedom, equality, and justice, kept other human beings as slaves. But because those slaves hungered for justice and freedom, and they struggled for it, we now have an African American as the President of the United States. I hope my legacy would be that the work in progress continues and continues.
So we're going to get to some audience questions.
What is the plus of using so much humor in your Twitter feed? And do you feel it ever kind of detracts from your message?
If you really want to reach a lot of people, you catch more flies with honey, and then you suck it to them with the meat.
Minorities, if they were portrayed at all, it wasn't always in a positive light. Did you find yourself rejecting any roles?
Stereotypes about Asians were shattered. For example, Sulu was the best driver in the whole galaxy. Thank you very much.
I'm blessed to have visited this mecca of tech. I learned that Austin, like many great cities, is a city of big ideas. I've also learned that through technology, my generation and younger generations can connect.
Looking good.
What?
Looking good.